Howdy Earthlings! Does this channel have a consistent theme or niche these days? I don't think so. It's Sarah's Things. I don't think I was ever going to do just one thing, but I don't think many people were expecting me to do a video about a Roblox game. If you don't watch my streams, then you probably didn't know that I actually play a lot of Roblox. My niece plays Roblox, and my wife played Roblox when she was younger, and well, she still does. She never really stopped playing. After all, this game has been around since 2006. Many of the people who played Roblox back then are adults now, so it's really not weird to see adults playing it the same way I still play games from my childhood like Pokemon. A lot of these games are obviously targeted at a modern demographic though. The AI brain rot memes, the constant ripping off of other games, the discount versions of popular titles like COD, and the tons and tons of microtransactions that would make MiHoYo blush. Every so often though, we'll find a game that is awesome. An experience I genuinely enjoy playing and exploring. Sure, it might have some microtransactions, but never to the degree of battle passes. Games like Tower Heroes, where you can experience the whole game without ever paying a cent, or more like the game I recently got into called Dandy's World. This is a game that I previously marked off as being very obviously for little kids. I'm wrong, though. It looked like another Mascot horror slap game riding the waves of Mascot horror games like Poppy's Playtime, FNAF, and that one with the raccoon that people are very weird about. I don't like Mascot horror. It tends to be very derivative. It's always some minimum wage worker asked to work the late shift while he gets chased by things so unscary that some people actually find them hot. This kind of horror borrows very heavily from other games in the defenseless horror genre, where you can only run from the horrors and never fight them directly. I might say that I've been surprised by Mascot horror in the past, but usually that's because they're one of the few games that don't rely on the defenseless horror genre like My Friendly Neighborhood. Let me know if you heard this one before, but you play an underpaid employee who explores his workplace at night and is attacked by mascots, but it's different in one key way. You're not really running from anything. With the arsenal you get, maybe they should be running from you. See, in most other Mascot horror games, your only option is to run, and when so many games involve running from things, you tend to get tired of this pretty quickly. This defenseless horror genre hasn't changed since before Slender the 8 Pages. Even in DBD, where it mixes things up by the game having one player being the killer, it's still just running and interacting with things. It changes things up the most by survivors having a lot of tools at their disposal, and rarely is Mascot horror about more than running. Surprisingly, despite Dandy's World seemingly not doing anything different, it still caught my attention. I might not post the most in my Discord, but I'm always reading and looking at the art that's posted there, so even though I'm not talking to some of y'all, I do see you. I noticed that there were a lot of these cute characters in the rubber hose art style, the old black and white Disney style like, Cuphead. So after a long while, and after DW popped into my feed for like the millionth time, I decided to try it. Dandy's World is a co-op survival horror roguelike game where you play the mascots. Already a refreshing change. I don't want to play some boring human character. I don't want to roleplay as a minimum wage worker. I lived that. But you still spend a lot of time running defenselessly from other evil mascots. So some things change but stay the same. As the Toons, you'll team up with 7 other players and go around filling machines with ink. Well, it's called Ichor. These are your generators, fuse boxes, or the 8 Pages. The machines work just like Dead by Daylight's generators. You'll interact, and every so often a micro timing minigame will pop up. If you hit the gray spot, you'll succeed. If you hit the gold part, you get a little boost to fill the machine faster. Once the machine is filled with goop, you're done. But while you're doing this, you have to keep an eye out for the twisted versions of the other characters, the bad guys. They're called the Twisteds. It's not revolutionary for a Roblox game to be using DVD, Survivor, and Generator system. There are a billion Dead by Daylight knockoffs. They're super common because Dead by Daylight is rated M and more pricey than free, so it's a little hard to get mom and dad to buy Little Timmy DVD. So these games kind of thrive on the platform. But the interesting part is that the killers aren't played by humans, taking a bit from the Mascot horror genre where you're chased by a simple AI. If you think about it, it's kind of like Pac-Man. Each of the Twisted wander about, and they serve to cut off easy access to the other machines as well as the escape. The escape is always the same place you enter from, the elevator. You'll fill the amount of machines required for the floor, then go back to the elevator and go down a floor. Each floor is a different random map. The maps are pre-made, so they have a very intentional design to them though, which is so refreshing after a decade of procedural generation. It's nice to see people actually making the maps again. The machine and item locations are still random though. Items are where the game mixes things up a little bit. There are these VHS tapes scattered about that are money, essentially. and you earn them in runs to buy items from Dandy's shop, which sometimes appears between floors. There he sells all sorts of goodies, like stamina restoring candy so you can run longer, speed boosts for faster movement speed, extraction speed for faster machine filling, skill check candies to make the skill check minigames appear more frequently, which is kind of a smart idea. It functions as a sort of double-edged sword. The checks happen more frequently, which might be a nightmare if you're bad at them, because a failed check makes a loud noise which attracts nearby Twisted. But if you're good at checks, you can easily hit gold more often than not, which means a faster overall fill speed. There are other great items too, like the handful of gumballs, which gives you a random short-term effect. Items that combine 2 other item effects, and jumper cables, which fill the machines by about a quarter with just a button press. These really mix up the gameplay and add a mild luck element into the gameplay, since you have no control over which items appear and when. Each one, though, has a clear, obvious, and beneficial effect. Speed and stamina are of course best for escaping the Twisted. Stopwatch makes checks easier, and bandages heal the player. Considering you get a max of 3 hearts, depending on the character, the bandages and health kits are rarer than platinum. To add to the items, though, is card selection. Between some floors, you'll get to vote to choose one of 3 cards, giving you and the team various benefits. Like sometimes there are blackouts, and there are cards to make them less likely to happen. There's a card that gives everyone 1 health back, like a giant medkit for everybody, and some that make the elevator stay open longer. But all this stuff, the items and the cards, are random. We don't really have much control over that. The characters have huge effects on your approach to gameplay, though. You might expect a game like this to have characters just be cosmetic or just have a neat effect or two like DBD, but every character has a passive, some actives, and all of them have different stats. Like the first characters you start with, Boxton and Poppy. Boxton has the passive ability Wind Up. Boxton gets 6% faster extraction speed for every living toon in the game, maxing out at a massive 48% speed boost on the machines. Other than that, Boxton has 3 of everything, being an incredibly well-rounded and easy-to-learn character. A lot of people won't play with you if you use Boxton, or if there's too many Boxton in the lobby. They leave because Boxton is a noob character, you just start with him, you just get him for starting. But I think a lot of players are totally ignorant to how smart of a design this character is. Boxy is a great starting character. When the objective is to fill all the machines, a character that does it faster than everyone else is huge. But because they're a toon you start with, people just assume that you don't know how to play, rather than the more logical thing of a party of 8 Boxton would make you fly through stages. Since you earn gooped based on the amount of machines filled, this also makes Boxton a farming character. In any other game where a character gives you more currency by playing them, they're typically locked behind a pretty big paywall. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on Boxton potential. Also, yes, the community can be a bit of a problem in this game, like many other online games. I have never been more harassed in a Roblox game than on Dandy's World. There are people in Call of Duty who treat me nicer than the kids in Dandy's World. Some of you take this free game way too seriously. You need to be nice to the new players. If people stop playing the game because they're being bullied, that can kill the game. So by being mean to new players, you are actively hurting one of your favorite games. Since less players means it's recommended less, which means less new players, and less new players means less microtransactions bought, which means the devs don't make any money to keep the game going. By being mean, you're making the game worse for everyone, even you. Being mean to people hurts you too, so try to show a little bit of patience. I know, it can be hard. A lot of the rude encounters mostly come from if I make a little mistake, so I'm still new, and I'm colorblind. The game is dark, and my colorblindness makes colors even darker. There's also some candy items in the game that look like the same color to me, so I don't know which one is doing what. When the game gets dark, I can't see the game super well, because my colorblindness makes it darker. It's not my fault. I don't do it to troll or to be mean. I was just born this way. I'm not going to get less colorblind because you called me stupid. Tisha players, I'm talking to you. It's always a Tisha player who's trash talking me. What happened is, I was running from a Twisted, and I accidentally led a Twisted to where someone was. It was a blackout stage, where my colorblindness screws me over the most. The Tisha player said, "What are you, stupid?" Also, yes, I understand the humor of being bullied by someone less than half my age, but I'm an adult and I have to be the better person. I have control over my emotions, a minor likely doesn't. As much as I want to tell them that their parents' divorce was their fault, I won't because I'm just better than them. That was a joke, I know some of you can't tell. The next time it happened was when my wife and I were playing together. A player crossed paths with her as she was running, and that player got hit by a Twisted and died. The Tisha player immediately started harassing her and threatened to report her for being a griefer. We told them to just submit the report. It's Roblox. If they don't do anything about pedophiles on their platform, they certainly won't do anything over a supposed griefing incident. Blythe wasn't griefing. It was just an unfortunate accident. Wrong place, wrong time. Kids are kind of weak these days. I remember when I was playing Halo 3 in high school and the kids weren't always whining about dying. because they were usually the ones doing the killing. The harassment isn't always towards me, sometimes it's towards other players. I've seen another player call another kid an inbred. I don't know what it is, but this game just brings the worst out of some kids. The biggest problem for me is mostly people refusing to play with and helping new players. I played a ton of online games for the past 18 years, and this was the second game I've heard of where players who were experienced refused to help new players play. This is bad for the health of the game, and I think the devs should put a warning to be nice to other players. Something like a sign of Dandy sobbing, doing the ugliest crying in the corner, and it says, "Toons being mean to Toons makes me sad." Just something to tell players to, hey, stop being jerks to other players. It's bad for everyone. Anyway, back to the characters. Boxton and Poppy are both intelligently designed characters because they're both very useful for a new player and their team. Boxton makes extraction go faster, which helps the player learn machines faster, while also making matches faster. Poppy runs faster after getting hit, which means potentially less downs for beginners playing her. The characters you have to earn get more advanced from here with more unique playstyles that require more understanding of how the game works. The biggest problem is the characters can take a pretty long time to earn. There are a lot of characters though, so I'll just point out some of my faves that I've played and seen. Shrimpo is the cheapest character, but you're not really expected to play them much. Shrimpo has the lowest stats with 1 star in everything, but still has 3 health. As a bonus to the difficulty, he has his stealth lowered by his passive. You're only supposed to play Shrimpo as a challenge run since playing him makes the game harder for you and potentially others if you're bad at avoiding Twisted. I like Shrimpo because I'm a shrimp. Here, I'll show you my tail real quick as proof. You can't really tell with just the antennas. I have a shrimp tail, see? I'm a shrimp. You just can't see it. My model's greatest feature is hidden. But Shrimpo is a bit of a booger too, and he's not nice, so I think they should add another shrimp character to make up for him sucking. You know, maybe me. Maybe put me in the game. Just an idea. Tisha is the character my wife plays currently. She's mastered her, which is finishing all of her mastery challenges. It unlocks a bonus skin. I'm trying to master Boxton, but I need a full lobby to survive a floor. Every time I play him, someone leaves, so I'll probably never master him. Anyway, Tisha has 3 health, 4 skill, 4 speed, 2 stamina, 3 stealth, and 2 extraction. That was a lot of numbers to just throw at you, but 4 skill means that she has higher skill check quality. 4 speed means she runs faster. 2 stamina is less than average, so she only has like 100 stamina. 3 stealth, which means she's got average avoidance, and 2 extraction, which means she's worse than average at extracting for machines. She also has an active that increases the speed of nearby toons by 25% for 5 seconds. A lot of the people I see playing her usually round up all the Twisted and keep them distracted. They basically play interference. Already, that's a huge difference in her playstyle versus Boxton. She's also easy to get, so a lot of people get her or Toodles next. Toodles is popular because of their cute dog costume. I want it too. Toodles is incredibly well-rounded, having a 3 in everything except stealth is a 4 and extraction is a 2. Toodles' active kind of works like gumballs. You use their ability, and you get a 15% boost to a random stat that lasts for 10 seconds with a cooldown of 25 seconds. I've been playing Toodles quite a bit. I always use their ability when using a machine or getting chased. They're a good character for teaching players about effective item use, even though it's actually an ability, not an item. Already, this is probably way deeper than you thought this game was going to be. You were probably wondering how I could even talk this long about a Roblox game. A lot of older people just have no idea what Roblox actually is. It's basically a game engine and a free games service. Kids work in digital game sweatshops making games for other kids. There are adult devs too, of course, and a lot of the games are just funny one-off bits, but Dandies is one of those games that makes you say, wow, they should probably be making games that aren't Roblox games. This is a team that knows what they're doing in terms of game design as well as character design. Pebble is another popular character. He's a cute little pet rock. He has 2 HP, 3 skill, 5 movement, 4 stamina, 3 stealth, and 1 extraction. You might think this makes him bad at machines, but there is a machine specially made for him that uses a treadmill to fill it. This means that sprinting will make it go faster, so Pebble is great for that. Also good for distracting Twisteds. His active is a loud bark, which lowers his stealth, alerts Twisted, and has a cooldown of 60 seconds. Then a passive where he can sniff out items, making them highlighted and easier to find. They're super cute, but he's also really good. They're also kind of expensive, costing almost 4,000 Ichor, 100% research, and mastery of Toodles. Ichor is the money. It's the ink icon at the bottom left of the screen when you're in shop areas. Research is basically just the canisters that we find in stages. They give research points towards characters that are on that stage as the bad guys. There are over 30 toons in the game, and quite a few are tied to events, so that's all I'm going to go over for now. The design of all the characters is great, of course. I love all of them, and it's a big part of what made me want to play it. Roblox has a bad problem of using pre-made assets, so when a game uses custom models, it really stands out. especially when they're this cute. But there's even more that you can do to influence your runs before even entering a match besides characters, like trinkets. These are equipment where up to 2 of them can be equipped to your tune. They work as abilities that you can equip. Like cardboard armor protects you from 1 ranged attack per floor. Coin purse gives you 30 tapes from the start, and cooler gives you 50 more stamina but makes you 5% slower. These can be used to enhance strong points of a character even more, or make up for shortcomings, like if the tune has a low stamina, you can equip the thermos and make stamina regen 15% faster. That's really all I have to talk about in terms of mechanics. I'm still new, my highest floor is only 14, but I really like this game and I think it's probably one of the best games on Roblox. I hope they one day make a game that's on Steam or something, because it's kind of a tragedy that it can only be played on Roblox, because I know that fact alone is enough to make some of you not want to take it seriously, and that's honestly a shame. It might not be the best thing ever, it's definitely not the best game ever, and many will find this gameplay loop boring, but I find it to be relaxing and a good bit of fun to play with chat while streaming. There are microtransactions, but I haven't felt pressured to buy anything yet. You can buy goop, and the largest pack is about 12 bucks. So it doesn't get super expensive. It doesn't make kids want to drop 50 bucks on the game. But Ichor is also pretty easy to earn. The cheapest pack is 300 for 75 Robux, which is about 75 cents, I think. And that can be earned in just a match to 2 matches. And Ichor can't really be used to buy new characters off the bat because they have to be earned through challenges first, so it's not even really pay to win because you still have to finish the challenges to earn the characters. You can only really use it to shortcut stickers and skins. For Robux, you can also buy game passes for more cosmetics and UGC. UGC, for those who are new to Roblox, is user-generated content. People make stuff for people to buy and dress their avatar in, so Robux is pretty much only going to be used for cosmetics and supporting the team, and I really do think they deserve it. That's really all I have to say. I never know how to end videos. Dandy's World devs, I hope you continue to work on this cool game, and I hope you get into making something not tied down to Roblox. They're a pretty terrible company, and I'd like to see you get a larger cut of the money you make from your games. I'd really like to see you make something on a more powerful game engine too. You're clearly all very talented, and I think your talents might be getting wasted here by, a company that doesn't appreciate you. Thank you for Dandy's World, and keep it up. I'm excited to see what it's like when it's done. Maybe put me in the game because Shrimpo is mean and makes other shrimps like me look bad. I'll even save you some of the work. You can call me Shrimple or Shreep, a portmanteau of shrimp and sheep. Make my speed lower than average, and my ability could be the longer I walk, the faster I go, as long as I don't stop. But once I stop, I go back down to below average speed. So make me walk at 85% of the base speed, and then as I keep walking, I build up speed until I'm at 120%. And then if I stop, I go back down to 85%. If the walking thing doesn't work, you can make it so I extract faster the longer I extract without getting interrupted or without missing a check. It would reward the team with me extracting faster and encourage to help them keep the twisted off of me, so that I can hit my top speed and maintain it. Then you can make everything else 2 stars, except 3 HP. Maybe instead just a different ability, where when I eat candy, it's shared with a nearby player. Alright, I'll stop. That's enough ideas. I could keep going. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to tip your Shreep with a like, sub, or consider becoming a supporter like those on Patreon and members so that you can get your name read in the credits. It's only $1 on Patreon, but members can get cute emotes next to their name on YouTube when they comment and chat. Thanks again to Nebazit, who recently upped their sub, so thank you for that. Aspirin Artist, Paper, Faye Penguin, Momentary Unicorn, Aurora the Puppy Moth, Nat, Marius Yini, Worm Syrup, Rask, Beeve, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky again, Willie Pete, Splackjack, TG Dante, who also made this background, and Malding Brick. I'll see you all later. Be nice to your fellow players. They might be noobs right now, but they're people, just like you. You used to be bad at the game too. Bye.